8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to Gamereactor Live. This is this week's news discussion, and we're trying out a little bit of a new format this week, and something that we'll hopefully continue with. No studio, no Nick, no Dory. You'll have to make do with me instead, and I hope that that's fine with you. This week, I've got a prominent guest, someone who's been working with Gamereactor for 12 years, about the same time as I've been working here. And he is none other than Jonas Mäki from the Swedish Gamereactor. How are you doing, Jonas?
Just fine, thank you.
So I thought we'd kick it off by talking a little bit about what we've been playing this week. What have you been playing lately?
I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros. Since I did the review for 3DS, so
Yeah.
it's been a lot of Smash Bros.
Just curious, does it work on a handheld?
It does actually. I was a little bit surprised because usually fighting games isn't all that great on handhelds because you need human competition. I mean, it's a genre that is very dependent on psychology and mind games.
Yeah.
And you can't use either against a computer. But this works really well actually.
Yeah, and especially something like Smash Bros, which is really couch 4-player, that's what it's all about. So you really have to sort of, they had to work hard to make it work on a handheld, I would assume.
But probably, I mean, yeah, that's true. But it's not the 4-player games that's the best thing about Smash Bros. They did do a lot of it's almost like mini games rather than regular traditional fighting.
Yeah.
And it works very well when you're alone.
Yeah. Personally, I've been playing Shadow of Mordor. Finished that last weekend, and I've also been playing Defense Grid 2. And I'm gearing up to play Forza Horizon 2. I know you're also, we've been talking about maybe playing this as our new sort of relaxing in the evening and chatting game.
Exactly.
It's what's your opinion of it? You played a little bit more than I have so far.
Yeah, I really like arcade racing games. I mean, I can't stand simulators because I really do suck at them.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth. But I mean, this really works out. It's fun to drive around. It's fun to everything about the game is fun to do.
It's one of those. I mean, I'm exactly the same as you with racing games. As far as simulation goes, the most simulation I probably race is something like a kart racer. I certainly like this more than say your Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport games. So I'm interested to see it. Of course, we're probably not going to see a burnout anytime soon, which is my favorite racing series. So
really good.
Looking forward to having a game where it's not as serious and maybe a little bit more about sort of just driving around, having fun with your friends. But I think enough chit chat about what we've been playing. Maybe we'll touch up a little bit more on some of those games later on. But let's dive into the news headlines. And maybe I should explain, because usually we do 10 headlines and it's going to work through the whole hour. But since we have Jonas on as a guest this week, we're going to have at the end of the show, we're going to have a discussion on console sales and video game sales, because I know for a fact that Jonas is an expert in this field. And me and Jonas, we usually have the same opinions about stuff, perhaps 90%, but those other 10%, then we're usually very far apart. So we'll see what we think about these things when we get to that point. But we should work our way through some of this week's greatest headlines. It's been a fairly slow news week, not a lot of big stuff. I guess because there's been a lot of big releases, people don't tend to release big news those weeks. So it's a little bit slower, but let's kick off by talking about our Finnish mega mobile developer Rovio. They've been in the news this week, uh, both good and bad, I suppose. First up, they've announced staff layoffs, and they're looking to, and this is a quote, simplify the organization by reducing 16% of its staff. And that is actually 130 jobs. So Rovio is quite a big studio these days. I've got a quote to read here from Mikael Hed, who is the CEO. We are an entrepreneurial company and have been exploring multiple areas. We have been building our team on assumptions of faster growth than have materialized. As a result, we announced today that we plan to simplify our organization around our 3 key businesses with the highest growth potential: games, media, and consumer products. Unfortunately, we also need to consider possible employee reductions of a maximum of 130 people in Finland, approximately 16% of the workforce. Now, I'm not an expert, but it sounds to me like maybe it's stuff like that amusement park or things like that they're really scaling back on and concentrating on the stuff where they're actually, yeah, making money at this stage. I don't know. Anyway, the other news that we'll talk about is that they've announced some rather high-profile names for the Angry Birds movie. Jason Sudeikis will be the main character, Red, and we'll also have Game of Thrones Peter Dinklage, who will play the Mighty Eagle, which I think is a very fitting role for Peter, who also, of course, voiced your little helper in Destiny. So let's talk about Rovio, Jonas. Is this the sort of this a sure sign that the Angry Birds craze is the Angry Birds flu is starting to subside?
I absolutely think so. As you said, I mean, I was actually a bit surprised to see how big Rovio is. I didn't think they were this big. I mean, I'm still surprised they have as many people left as they have.
Yeah.
I mean, their Transformers Angry Birds game can hardly motivate like 1,000 people employed, right?
No, I think they've put out something like 20 games in the last few years. So they've been spamming the market with a lot of, not just Angry Birds, but a lot of different games. And that also is one thing that comes with a lot of money, is that they could afford to set up studios that were allowed to experiment and just maybe not all of them work towards a product launch straight away with a fast turnaround. So they've had a sort of a luxurious position in a way, but they have built up a very big uh, development stable of studios. So and of course, with anything as big as Angry Birds, I'm sure their legal department is is the size of a studio, of most
Yeah,
studios.
probably even
Yeah.
bigger. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's still. I mean, they are a little bit like, or has been a little bit like a much smaller Microsoft that has this really one super successful product that everything revolves around.
Yeah.
And then they have this. They're trying like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and nothing
Yep.
is really working except this super mainline product.
Yeah.
And I mean, now it's decreasing and it's not as popular as it used to be. Not even
Yeah.
near as popular. And I think they're in for a really bumpy ride.
Yeah, I mean, I think their main revenue has been the merchandise for a fairly long time, actually. Of course, the games are very popular, but I don't think that there is a huge deal of microtransaction money coming in from them, especially not now that they're not as popular. But it's difficult for me to analyze that. What do you make of the movie? Is because that is sort of a cycle that sometimes happens with very popular brands in video games, is that they have their peak, then they go down a little bit, then comes a movie, and they can sort of resurrect through that movie and become a little bit more popular again. I mean, for a long time, when it comes to Tomb Raider, it was the movies that held up the franchise rather than the games, for instance.
That is true, but I'm gonna have to assume they started this film project when it was really, really big. I don't think they would have gotten this kind of celebrities for voice actors and so on if they started the project now. I mean, it's just they're into the project already and they need to run it to the bitter end.
Yeah.
But I think this is, I mean, they're fortunate it was started when it was started, because I mean they wouldn't get this kind of money now.
It's going to be a very interesting thing to see if because I you know it, it's like for a feature film you need 90 minutes of something going on, and Angry Birds really there's nothing to sort of suggest what we might see in that movie, which is going to be very interesting because it gives the movie makers a bit of a clean slate to work on, but at the same time it could fall flat on its face. I think it's a little bit similar in that sense to the Lego movie, because the Lego movie is also like, there's nothing about Lego that dictates what a movie should be.
No, that's true. It'll be interesting to see for sure. I mean, it might resurrect the interest for Angry Birds, but I'm not entirely convinced. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there still an audience?
Yeah.
Just feels a little bit like a tired brand.
It does, and even though they've done a lot of very different things with the Angry Birds concept. I mean, there are tons of different kinds of games. It's not just the basic physics puzzle that it started out as. And I think the Transformers game is very different from other Angry Birds games. But still, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, they went in the completely different direction from Mojang and Minecraft, also sort of a one-hit wonder. But whereas Mojang kept small and always had a very sort of high profit margin, and didn't expand. I mean, they have merchandising, of course, but they didn't expand crazy. And then, of course, now they've cashed in on having a very profitable company with selling out to Microsoft. So I think the Rovio way is way more risky. And I guess we'll have to see how it pans out. At the same time, you never know. They could be cooking up something entirely new that's going to be as big. So we'll see.
I will see, of course. I mean, but you remember this Angry Birds Stella game? It was like an adventure game with Angry Birds. I don't know if it's out or what happened with it, but it had this new design for Angry Birds.
I don't remember that.
Okay, it was supposed to be like an adventure game anyway, and I'm gonna have to assume that this Angry Birds movie will use the designs from Angry Birds Stella rather than use the old traditional Angry Birds, because they need to like reinvent the brand. And, like as Sega did with Sonic and so on.
And it's also very hard with animations when the birds have no legs and stuff.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
They can't just be shooting them everywhere.
No, it's true.
But I'm actually very excited to see how they make it look and sort of what feel, because they have some very good people on the movie.
It's true. Very true.
And really, they taking it very seriously, and it's not just like many times when video games get turned into movies, they hand over the brand and then someone in Hollywood decides how to repackage it so that the stupid moviegoers can understand it. This is something that Rovio is working very much hands-on with, and keeping control of their IP. So interesting to see where that leads us. Next up, we got some very sad news. West 1-Bit Entertainment will be filing for bankruptcy. The news came out this week via one Sega fan site called Sega Nerds, that we were talking about whether it's Westone or West 1.
Yeah, I was always like Westone, but I mean, you say West 1.
Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows? Anyway, it's always been extremely complicated with Wonder Boy and the Monster World series. Basically, I think Sega owns part of the IP. West One or Westone owns another part, and actually owns the actual games. Um, which meant that the original Wonder Boy was released as Adventure Island elsewhere on other platforms, and also
Console,
Activision.
right?
Yeah. Um, and and it was also, it was reskinned as Bikuriman, I think also.
It's true.
And of course, Activision released the game on the home computers, Commodore 64 and Amstrad and Spectrum. So that first game came around. I mean, for a Sega game, it got a lot of distribution elsewhere as well. Um, but yeah, they have sort of. I don't really know how much they've been developing lately, but they've sort of been I don't know. They've just been floating around. Of course, we finally got a Western release for Monster World 4 not so long ago on PSN and Xbox Live Arcade. Finally translated, but there hasn't been a lot of movement in that franchise for many years. And so perhaps it's actually a good thing that they go bankrupt, because now perhaps someone will pick that up and possibly, uh, you know, make a return to Monster World game.
That would be fantastic. That would be
Yeah.
really wonderful. I
I
don't know
think
who.
for Sega, it's been a difficult thing because they haven't owned the whole IP, so they haven't wanted to sort of return to it.
Mm,
Um, they have so many IPs anyway, so why would they go for an IP that is not their own, so to speak?
yeah, it's true. I mean, they
Um,
have used Wonder Boy every now and then, like in the kart games with Sonic and the
what
tennis.
was he in there?
Yeah, yeah, it was Wonder Boy's there.
All right.
No, or yeah, I think so. Wasn't he? Or
You're
was it
not
Alex
talking
Kidd?
about Alex Kidd?
Maybe, not sure. Now I'm getting insecure.
I don't think Wonder Boy was in there. Not in the transformed one, at least. The last one, I played that quite a lot. And of course, the funny thing about Wonder Boy is that it's never the same hero in any of the games.
No, it's true.
It's a new one with every entry, and the last one is actually a girl. So the title is somewhat misleading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but wasn't there a different series in some of these were different series in Japan rather than?
Yeah. So there's the original Wonder Boy, and then the first Monster World game is called Wonder Boy in Monsterland, and then you had Monster World, the Dragon's Trap, which is also called the Dragon's Curse in some places. Um, and that is sort of the second Monster World game. So the Wonder Boy series and the Monster World series are sort of two. And then, of course, you also had that arcade shooting game called Monster Lair, Wonder Boy Monster
Yeah,
Lair.
that one. That was really good. That was for
Uh,
arcade, right?
yeah, it's an arcade game, a shooter. It also came out on Mega Drive. Um, um, uh, so yeah, the whole franchise is very sort of fragmented and strange. But that's sort of what makes it interesting as well. There, you know,
Yeah,
these days you would not make a series like it, and the releases came very close to each other as well. So it's not like there was a huge gap between the first Wonder Boy and Monster and the Monsterland. They came out like 1 year and then the next year.
yeah,
So it was just, I think they added Wonder Boy to it. Just, it was a brand they had, and in retrospect, I think the original Wonder Boy and the Monster World games have very little in common, and should not be referred to in the same series. I think because
probably not.
I
Probably
mean
not
Wonder Boy
because
is a straightforward platformer that also has that sort of thing where it scrolls forward all the time. Whereas the Monster World games are, side-scrolling RPGs
yeah,
with
more like Zelda
action.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
really true. But it'll be interesting to see who will pick this studio up. I mean, people will want some of these assets for sure, but
I mean, I would assume so. Yes.
and it'll probably be really cheap as well.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's a big thing. At the same time, it's like if Sega would have wanted it, wouldn't they rather have sort of picked it up before they went bankrupt? Because I don't see them having a lot of costs involved with it.
No, it's true.
I don't know.
But I mean, as you say, I mean, I mean, there is still some legal hassle to deal with.
Yeah,
I mean, owning the brand totally changes everything. I mean,
yeah.
they can re-release the Wonder Boy games and see if there's an interest, and they can use the
Yeah.
Wonder Boy as a mascot in different games and see if
They,
the
I
fans like.
mean, they actually came to an agreement to release Monster World 4. So that was in itself like a big deal because
Mm,
none of the Wonder Boy games were part of the sort of the Mega Drive collection titles that you remember on PS2 and Xbox
yeah,
One or an Xbox or PSP. But since they actually released this digitally, I felt like, oh, they're getting on the same page now. Maybe something can happen.
mm,
But and of course, like if someone else picks up the assets here, then of course they'll have to deal with the fact that Sega owns part of it,
mm.
part of the Wonder Boy Monster World franchise. So yeah, some things to work
Yeah,
through. But it's a sad day anyway because
it is. It is.
it
But
is
then again, they didn't do very much in the end. So,
no. I don't
so
think it's not like it's going to affect anything in
no.
that sense, but
No, I have to be honest. I didn't even realize they were still around until they
yeah.
filed for bankruptcy. So
I think a lot of people have the same
yeah,
feel the same way. I did know that they were still around because of I've sort of been keeping up on the
mm,
why we don't see the Wonder Boy games and Monster World games on Virtual Console and all that stuff. But now they're out. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I hope that somehow it turns out in the end that maybe we can get to see a new Monster World game. That would be amazing.
yeah, that would be amazing. I would imagine a company like Microsoft, I mean, that really wants to do something in Japan, should
Mm.
try to get these really cheap and easy assets that still mean something to some people.
Still
It's
need a developer to if they want to do something new though.
yeah,
So
of course.
um,
But there's plenty of good indie developers these days, and I'm gonna have to assume the West
yeah,
Home people or the West One people, we don't
yeah,
know, are going to start a new studio as well somehow.
yeah,
I mean, they're still
yeah.
around, so who
Yeah,
knows?
I don't know if they actually had like a development team towards the end. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just a company.
Yeah, it might have been.
So I don't know, but yeah, I would love to see someone like Way Forward, for instance,
Yeah, that's true.
work on that. I would love both an actual Wonder Boy 2
Hmm.
and a new Monster World. I
Yeah,
wouldn't, I could see both happening, but we'll see what happens with that. Moving on from Japan to China, we
mm.
have some news from that big country that they've had for 14 years, they've had a console ban in China to apparently to protect the people of China from such harmful things as violence. You know,
Yeah,
the country that executes most people every year.
yeah.
Um,
And there was some phrasing about video games making people slow and lazy or something like that, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
of
So
course they've had a lot of PC gaming, so
yeah,
I don't really know what the difference is there, but whatever. Xbox One has launched in China, um, and that is a pretty big deal actually because of it's a huge market potentially for anyone who penetrates it. And they had a pretty decent start. I think they reported to have sold more than 100,000 units, and also some positive anecdotal evidence of lines at the shops they were releasing it in, and so on and so forth. What do we think about this?
yeah. What do we think about this? I mean, it's yeah. I was a little bit surprised as well. I didn't expect this kind of interest. It was launched about the same time in Korea as well, and there was like no lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here in China there was obviously huge lines in many stores. Of course, it wasn't every store sold this. It's just small regions of China where it has
Mm.
been launched.
Yeah.
So it's quite impressive numbers. I mean, if they start doing games for Chinese gamers for Xbox One, it could become huge.
Yeah.
I think they realize this.
It's very interesting. Of course, China is such a diverse country. I mean, you know, you compare Hong Kong and Shanghai to rural China.
Mm.
It's like different time periods. So you can imagine that but you know, still, just you know, just a market like Shanghai is the same population as the entire Nordic region.
Mm.
So you got a lot of potential there for sales, and obviously there's a hunger for video games in China because of this ban, and you know, uh, maybe Microsoft scores some goodwill points by being the first ones out, first ones to launch a console there for such a long time. Um, God knows they need a sort of a leg up somewhere. So
Yeah,
um,
probably, and they won't get it in Japan. So I mean, it's
no,
probably really
it,
important for them.
interesting to see, like because we don't really know what kind of games would appeal to a Japanese or to a Chinese audience. I would assume that something like Dynasty Warriors would be huge there, but
Probably,
maybe it's too Japanese. It's a Japanese interpretation of a Chinese thing.
yeah.
Maybe that's not something they want. Uh, but
There is also a role-playing game genre called like Chinese role-playing game, like JRPG. There's also one for Chinese RPG.
mm,
They're supposed to be. I haven't played one myself, but there is. It's really big on PC at least. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to assume there is a couple of companies at least that will try to do some Chinese role-playing games for Xbox One as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure there is, and it'll be interesting to see if Microsoft can sort of cater to that audience, because you know, working exclusively on PC for so long,
Mm.
you know, it's gonna take a little effort to sort of rile them in, and you know, maybe jump on the ID at Xbox program.
It's true, but I mean, it's still they have the advantage this time of having a console, the PS4 as well, that looks pretty much like a PC.
Yeah.
So it'd be reasonable amount of works to get work
Mm.
on the consoles. I mean, just porting the PC games and so on. So,
Yeah.
and also another good thing that shouldn't be underestimated is actually for us. I mean, if we could get more Chinese games on the Xbox One, it's probably good for us as well. I mean, we would get like more diverse games, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So there's like win-win.
Yeah. I'm not sure I've really played a proper Chinese game at
No, me
any
neither.
point.
No, me
So
neither. But I would love to.
interesting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a positive start for Microsoft there, and like we said, they probably sorely needs it. That takes us to well, you told me that this was a little bit of an old news piece, actually, Jonas. That Super Smash Bros. On Wii U will be getting a bundled GameCube controller.
Hmm.
We will talk a little bit more about 3DS, the 3DS version that you played after this, but I just thought that this was hilarious that they're bundling
Mm.
the old GameCube controller with because it's sort of in a way it sort of just says to uh, you know, tells us that, hey, these controllers we've been making for the last, I don't know, 14 years
Yeah, it's true.
have don't really work with Smash Bros.
No, it's true. I mean,
um,
it has some. It really has been impressive how popular the GameCube controller has been,
hmm,
because it wasn't really popular when it was launched. It got a
no,
lot of critique, and then they released it for Wii, and then they released a wireless version when they removed the GameCube plugs from the Wii console. They released a wireless version that you could plug into the Wii controller.
yeah.
It appeared again, and now it's back for Wii U. I mean, it's the fourth iteration of the same controller.
But it is sort of also tied to Smash Bros. So sort of intimately, because it's been the
It
pro
is.
player's choice,
It is, but
the
it
serious
didn't
player's
start
choice.
there. I mean, it started with Nintendo 64, so it
Hmm.
didn't start there. I mean, it's a
No,
second
but
controller.
it's
So
sort of it's become the standard.
it has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, let's not talk about the Nintendo 64 controller, but I agree with you that the GameCube controller is really strange, but at the same time, it was clear that it was designed for certain games, and I think
Yeah.
Smash Bros was probably one of those games that they really sort of, the controller was suited for that.
Yeah. It has one main button, and the rest is like
Yes.
just satellites. It's
It's
secondary buttons.
it's the Miyamoto principle, one button.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah,
one button.
yeah.
It is true.
But anyway, it's fun. Do you know how this one will plug in? There's an adapter or something, I think.
Yeah, it's an adapter.
Yeah.
You plug in a USB port, and
Yeah.
there's room for 4 controllers, and you can use the Wirebird as well. Wavebird, the
Yeah.
Wavebird, if you have one
Oh.
of those. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with the adapter, you can play with your old controllers as well. And
Yeah,
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 that's nice. And I'm sure that that is actually something that will entice some people to buy a Wii U and Smash Bros when it comes out,
probably, absolutely, probably.
because
I think so.
because they will be able to keep playing it with that. Because I mean, the Pro controller would be the only other decent option, I guess.
I guess, yeah. But then again, it's quite expensive. I mean, it's like 50 euros.
Yeah.
And
And if you already have the GameCube controllers,
exactly,
why?
exactly.
Yeah,
You can get them cheap, and they're a little bit cheaper to buy as well. So it's
yeah.
yeah.
Can you still buy GameCube controllers in the
They are
stores?
releasing it again,
Yeah.
once again.
So
Yeah,
on a standalone? Oh, okay.
it's standalone. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they also still have, at least in some stores, they have the Wii GameCube
Yeah.
controllers still, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing. So
And it plugs in the same way
yeah,
too. Yeah. That is nice.
yeah, I
Nice to
think so.
know.
Mm.
Of course, we were talking a little bit about Super Smash Bros. Earlier on the 3DS. We still don't know exactly when Super Smash Bros. For in Wii U is coming out, do we?
I don't think so. It is this year, right? It's supposed
Yeah.
to be before Christmas, even in Europe, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We
They
haven't had
haven't.
it.
No, exactly. I always get a little bit nervous when they don't announce a date and then it's very close like
Mm.
this.
But Nintendo do have a tradition of releasing games in mid-December, so
Yes.
they have done it before. So
And especially in Europe, it's not as damaging. In America, you can't really do that. You have to be out by Black Friday.
yeah, that's true.
But in Europe, it's a different story. You can certainly release a game in December
Mm.
without losing all your sales. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a December release in Europe. That would kind of make sense.
Yeah, probably
Uh,
even likely.
but it's kind of strange though, because I think like I thought that they were gonna give a little bit more space between the 3DS version and the Wii U version, because to give the 3DS version a little bit of time alone.
I think so. I think it was the plan even. I
Yeah,
think they changed the plans when they have to remove this Captain Toad game, and they had a couple of delays.
yeah,
So I think
that's
it's
true.
it's therefore. I mean, they must have some game for Christmas.
That's
Since
true.
it's
That's true.
a big seller.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to assume there will be a Wii U bundle with a Smash Bros as well. I'm gonna have
Yes.
to assume so.
Yes. And I'm also curious to see what the amiibo features is going to be like, and
It's true.
how that will play out,
Yeah.
because it feels a little bit like an afterthought with Super
Mm.
Smash Bros. I don't really understand what the benefits are going to be,
No.
but at the
They
same
should have
time,
had an amiibo game and then use the same characters for Smash
yes,
Bros
yes.
afterwards, not start with a Smash Bros. And
Yeah, because it
it's
feels
just a
like an
wrong.
add-on that,
Mm.
maybe it's going to be something very cool. We don't
Mm.
know that, but it certainly feels like, it's not, this game isn't really there to sort of promote amiibo.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just something that you have on top of it,
Yeah.
and that's certainly very, compared to what Skylanders and Disney Infinity offer.
Mm.
It's a very different sort of
Yeah.
scenario.
But I mean, even Skylanders, I don't think Activision is using these characters enough. I mean, they could use the same characters for like bonus features in Call of Duty, like
Mm,
getting weapon skins or whatever. Just
mm.
use these characters as Nintendo is using them in Smash Bros. I mean, people have these Skylanders characters. Why not use them even more? I mean, for bonus features, it would be a really clever thing to do.
I think that I think that the problem with that is you and we play all kinds of games, but a large portion of the Call of Duty fan base would sort of just be like, "Oh, that's a kid's game."
Probably. I mean, but they might end up selling a few extra characters. I mean, you can get this pink machine gun if you buy this character. Okay, I gotta get this one, and it's I don't know.
Yeah.
They could do it. They could.
Yeah,
Do it.
absolutely. And you know what I would love? I would love. I mean, I know that next Disney Infinity is probably going to be Star Wars, but for something like Star Wars Battlefront,
yeah, I know
Star
where you're
Wars
going.
characters, that would
Totally.
be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. They should do it. They should do
Yeah.
it for sure.
I was actually hoping like because you know you and I we've been playing Garden Warfare a lot, and you know the sticker album is such a brilliant idea.
It is.
I would love for Star Wars Battlefront to have the Kenner figures as their sort of unlock system.
Yeah, they should have.
And you know,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And also they have this really, I mean, the good thing about with the plants and having this unlock system is that everyone doesn't have the same things. I mean, it's not like level 1 you get this thing, level 2 you get this thing. I mean, you get like it's random. I mean, okay, you get this super rare thing right away, and you don't get this really common thing at the end, and it's just clever.
It certainly is, and we need to get back in and play now with new updates. Speaking of this week's news, there was of course a new update to Plants vs Zombies.
One,
I think the fourth one, I think, free, and it's really one of those reviewers' dilemmas that the game is now 50% bigger than it was when we reviewed it.
At least, I mean, it's like twice as big. It's
almost twice as big. I don't think the maps are that many more new, but game modes it's certainly more than double, and
and more characters. It's
and that's the thing, like, you know, when you buy the game, nobody knew exactly what their plans were for it, so you know, if you have plans to do that, let us know, you know, let us gamers know that we're going to update this game every second month with a lot of new stuff. So
yeah, it's true.
That is something that you know, it's good to tell us that.
It is. And also, I'm quite impressed that they have kept this promise to release all the DLC for free. That is quite impressive. That's
I think that in large it's also thanks to the fact that the game is sold really well. So
probably
there's you know.
But I can't remember doing this news piece. Was it like 1 month after the game was released, where they added microtransactions for the game, where you can buy money to buy packages?
Yeah.
This doesn't really change the game in any way, so it's kind of a clever microtransaction. It just speeds things up for people.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they said that everything, all the DLC in the future would be free. And I mean, they continue to release this DLC, and it's still a free game, and I still would recommend it to everybody. It's a great game. It's actually the game I've been playing most for this entire new generation, which is quite. I mean,
it's probably mine as well. Even though I haven't played it in a while, it's not a lot of games that I've played 50 plus hours on this generation.
Yeah, I know.
But we got a little bit sidetracked there. Plants vs Zombies. What can I say? It's a game we love, so we tend to talk about it. The next order of business, and we're going to have to speed it up a little bit because we want to talk about our sales statistics later on. But it seems like the Kickstarter craze is slowing down. A PR firm called ICO Partners released some numbers. In 2013, there was $58 million pledged towards video game projects, 440 projects. And during the first half of 2014, only $13.5 million were pledged towards 175 projects, which, if it keeps the same pace for the entire year, means that it's only about half of what last year was. But that is also a pretty positive outlook, given that the trend is so much downwards. It's probably going to land somewhere even lower than that. and as one of the significant things is that they pointed to early access being something that developers opt for rather than the Kickstarter routes. Any thoughts on this?
That's for one of the reasons for sure, but maybe it's probably many reasons. Like I mean, most games doesn't even get near the money they need,
No.
and that's a problem. I mean, of course, you would like try to find different ways to find funding for a game rather than try out Kickstarter.
Hmm.
And with this many games, it's sort of getting crowded. It's hard to find the projects to fund.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of. I was actually almost wondering when the balloon would burst, and now it
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, and it's also like there's so much. If you have a very successful one, there's so much administration that goes into just giving out all the prices, keeping up updates on with all the all of a sudden you may get more than you bargained for, because of course the money that you get through Kickstarter, there's a lot of thing eating away at that. If say you get $1 million,
Mhm.
first of all, not every transaction actually goes through. I think there's a miss ratio of maybe 5% or something.
Mhm.
Then you got the Kickstarter fees. I think that's a few more percents, and Amazon, and then you have taxes on top of that. Then you have to deduct everything from the awards you've given out, physical awards and
Mhm.
stuff that you send out, postage and everything like that. There's a lot of work to get that money, and if you're not getting a ton of money, maybe it's not worth the effort to do it. And something like early access, where you get a little money all the time, people buying the game,
Mhm.
might be a better model for a lot of developers. And also, I don't think we've seen as many big, high-profile Kickstarters this year as we did last year. And I think those are the ones that really drag in a lot of money.
Mhm.
The ones that just go that blow up. And we haven't really seen any of those this year.
No, it's true.
And also we've had a few very sort of high-profile failures, like the Yogs Venture
Mhm.
fiasco. So that also, of course, chills down people's willingness to part with their money.
Yeah, it's true. And also, there has been a problem. I mean, there has been a couple of scams as well, and
Yeah,
that doesn't exactly help the
no,
Kickstarter projects. So yeah,
no,
and now they have made the rules harder, and that also makes for a decrease in
yeah.
number of Kickstarter projects. So
All right. Um, let's move through the PlayStation Plus games quickly, and then move on to our little sales discussion, so we don't miss out on that.
mm,
Uh, because I think this month on PlayStation Plus is really a great month, really good offerings. Especially if you have PS4, you're getting a total of 4 games. And the games that are entering are Batman Arkham Asylum on PS3,
mm,
Drive Club, the PlayStation Plus edition on PS4, which is about a fifth of the game. Dust and Elysian Tale on PS4, beautiful 2D platformer, I think it
mm,
is,
mm,
should call it. And you got Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of Mystara on PS3, Pix the Cat on Vita and PS4, Rainbow Move on Vita and PS3, and Spelunky on PS4, PS3, and PS Vita.
yeah,
So a lot of games there, and a lot of cross-buy games. So
yeah, that's really
um,
important as well.
yeah, yeah. So I guess the big headline is the fact that you're gonna get Drive Club. We all knew that was gonna be part of this month's offering, and also Batman, of course, is a big
Yeah,
deal on PS3. Um,
I think
any
Batman is the kind of game you usually getting though. I mean, you are getting great games with
yeah,
PlayStation Plus for sure. So I think it makes sense. We've seen
yeah,
a lot.
yeah, absolutely. And of course, there's no new Batman game this fall, so might be a good time to start with Asylum. Start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also, of course, Spelunky, great game that you should get if you don't already have it. And Yeah, I don't really know what Pix the Cat is, but I think it's a brand new game that's been added now. But yeah, you also mentioned something about Sony sort of stealth hiking the PS Plus prices in some countries,
Mm.
um, which, you know, given the value that you get every month with PS Plus and the fact that this is a very sort of it's a very nice place for Sony to raise the price and sort
Mm.
of rake in some more money because they need it. Um, do you think that that's something that it was very sort of small markets that is happening? I think it was South Africa and Russia where the prices had gone up. You think this is something that they'll move over to bigger territories as well?
For sure, but not this year. I mean,
No.
like in 1 or 2 years, perhaps. I mean,
Mm.
the prices will go up. I mean, that's not a question of if; it's a question of when.
Yeah.
And
You think that they want to time it perhaps when they start releasing more AAA games on the PS4 as part of PS Plus? Maybe a good idea.
maybe, yeah, probably,
Yeah.
probably. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
think.
more companies will want money back as well from the
Yeah.
Plus service. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why EA is launching this EA Access because they want a bigger cut.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm still very curious to find out exactly how that model works actually in reality. But yeah, we're sort of rushed for time, so I think we got to start talking about sales numbers because that's really why I've brought you on this show.
Mhm.
Um, this week there was news that Xbox One was actually outselling the PS4 in the UK the week they lowered the price by I think was £20.
Mhm.
And the week the FIFA 15 came out, of course, Microsoft are in a heavy alliance with EA, a lot of different titles, and FIFA certainly being one of them, even though it's a multi-platform title. Um, what do you make of the current situation on the maybe I should read the numbers right now as they are from that unmentionable site. Right now they have PS4 at 11 million, Xbox One at 5.5, and Wii U at 7.3. What do you make of this situation as it is right now?
I think it's a really, I mean, for Sony, it's really, really good. I
Hmm.
mean, they've been selling extraordinary fast, and they have a good console, they have good service, they have good prices, they have good games. They are doing a lot of things right, but they are bleeding money. I mean, they need to have this success, and I think Microsoft will start to act more aggressive.
Hmm.
They already have, in some sense, with this Tomb Raider thing last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, making this that an exclusive title that was pretty heavy, and yeah, that's probably not going to be the only title they're trying to get full exclusive deal on for Xbox One.
No, because I also think that it's sort of a good time for them to pick this up because I mean obviously if Square Enix was doing perfectly fine and they had all the money in the world, they wouldn't do that because they
No,
they, they know they're alienating a lot of PlayStation fans. This is something they're doing because they actually need money
yeah,
and Microsoft is giving them money upfront
mm,
to have this exclusivity and I think it was the same thing with Capcom and Dead Rising. It's not,
maybe the Capcom thing. Don't they have this fantasy game? I can't remember the title for PlayStation 4 as well. They had like
deep
one game
down,
for
deep
yeah, that's
down.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's one. So they had like one game for PS4 and one game for Xbox. And the
yeah,
Deep Down is out for PC as well, right? And the Dead Rising is out for PC, right?
yes, I think so. But I think it's a little bit different because Microsoft actually is the publisher of Dead Rising.
They
So
are okay. Yeah.
yes, they funded the game, so
Mm,
that is an absolute exclusive. Even though it's a Capcom title, it's an absolute exclusive. Um, which is interesting. But I think it's the atmosphere right now and the environment is such that these kind of deals are possible
mm, true.
for even though you are giving away what is probably the biggest market for Tomb Raider game, which is
Mm,
PS4.
yeah, for sure.
I would assume that would have sold better on PS4 than on Xbox One, even
sure.
if they were head and even if they were neck and neck in terms of what the consoles are, because Tomb Raider is a classic PlayStation franchise, and it has been for many years. So that's
I don't think it's any coincidence that it's just, I mean, it's Tomb Raider and Dead Rising. I mean, Tomb
no,
Raider, as you said, Square Enix needs the money.
yeah,
And speaking of Dead Rising, I think I mean, they had the second game out for PlayStation 3, and it didn't sell well at all
no,
because it's sort of an Xbox title. And
it is, yeah,
and early on in the generation, there's 0 PlayStation 4 players and there's 0 Xbox One
yeah,
players. They might as well make an exclusive Xbox title.
yeah,
Microsoft probably paid them good money for this, way more money than they would have made from the PlayStation 3 version, and they would also have lost some sales by being
mm,
multi-format. That's weird, but it's just how it works.
yeah.
So there
I,
was
I, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft actually paid for the entire development of Dead Rising 3.
probably it was a really good affair for Capcom for sure.
Yeah. And also a way to sort of I mean, even if they don't make as much money out of selling the game, there's also that sort of thing where that team get the experience on the new hardware, get it
Mm,
early, get that under their belt, and that is experience that they will benefit from for the rest of the generation.
for sure, yes, absolutely.
So we've been talking a little bit about the situation as it is right now. Sony is doing everything right, but you can see a little bit of a tendency, and I think it's in the strong Microsoft markets, the UK and the US, that the gap is sort of closing in a little bit.
It is for sure. I
And
mean,
do you think they can mount a comeback? And what's the best case scenario for Microsoft this generation, you think, in your opinion?
it depends on how much money they're willing to spend. I think. I mean, they can lower the price, and it will
Mm.
for sure make more people buy the console. But then it
Yeah.
will be like in charity, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they should be able to they should be able to buy a big chunk of the market. I think they could do a lot better than they are right now, and I think they will do a lot better than they are right now. But it's going to
Mm.
cost them for sure. But they will
Yeah,
never beat the PlayStation 4. I think it'll be. I mean, it's already almost too late. I
it
mean,
is because it's so much of this is built up on momentum,
mm,
and the early adopters that have already bought their new
mm,
gen console. That's the people who are buying console this holiday. They're looking to their friends who've already
exactly.
who what have they got, and so on and so forth. So what's interesting now is going to see if the sort of the trend of Xbox 360 owners going over to PS4, if that's going to continue, if it's going to stop,
Mm,
and that people will sort of stick with their brand from now on. It's going to be interesting to see. um, Another thing that I've noticed, and we talked about, is the fact that this is the time of the new IPs. We've
it
had
is.
Destiny and Watch Dogs been some of the probably the biggest launches this year so far. Uh, Maybe barring FIFA in Europe, but still extremely strong launches, setting records and competing with each other for that top spot as the best new French IP launch or whatever. Um, that this sort of begs a question: is this going to be a trend? Are we going to see sort of a turnover in big IPs? Are some of the old big ones going to suffer from as a result of this?
Probably, I think so. Yeah. I mean, we've already seen games like even Halo lose some of its
Mm.
momentum so it will definitely happen.
It's going to be interesting because Halo is really one of those franchises now that sort of stands at a risk of becoming just sort of a mid-tier
Yeah,
franchise. We
totally,
we
totally.
sort of still see it as this huge
Mm,
franchise, but really, if you look at the sales number for the last couple, it's not it's not really speaking of a franchise,
no,
especially the trend is not really speaking of a franchise
no,
that's as big as sort of we making it, because
yeah.
we've all seen it as the big Microsoft franchise. Maybe it's not that anymore.
And also, a really big difference is the people buying like Halo Reach and Halo 3, they
Yeah,
were satisfied customers. They were happy gamers. They played the game like, I mean, there are numbers proving this. They played the game like every day basically for years.
yeah,
People buying Halo 4 are dishappy gamers,
Yeah.
unhappy gamers, and that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost them.
It sure is, and I think there's a bunch of franchises that are sort of at risk here, if they don't reinvent themselves. Final Fantasy, they've had a downward trend for a long time. Like, can 15 turn things around now for them? Is there still use in that franchise? We'll have to wait and see. There are other interesting things where you haven't seen the new Resident Evil, but that is also a little bit scary, I think, for
I
Capcom.
think Capcom is trying to reboot the Resident Evil with
Yeah,
the Resurrection series. That's the feeling I get. They're like
yeah,
returning to the roots with a new series
yeah.
instead of
It's gonna be very interesting to see because that is also a franchise that sort of lost its way a little bit.
Mm,
We're getting the Silent Hill reboot now, proper
mm,
reboot. Going to be very interesting to see where that leads, because that is the franchise that sort of last generation took a turn to the worse and sort of
yeah,
went away. And these sort of things happen at these transition times where one console generation moves on to the next one. That's when we leave franchises behind like this.
it's true.
So it's very interesting in that respect.
And
Before
again,
we,
like Tomb Raider, I mean, you can
yeah,
have the other way around as well. I mean, franchises can disappear. Like Tomb Raider has been basically gone for a long time,
yeah,
and now it's back with the boom. And now
yeah,
it might be gone again because of Microsoft, but that's a different story.
yeah. They successfully rebooted that
Yeah.
one, even though there was always coming a lot of Tomb Raider games. It's just that we didn't pay attention for a
No,
long
exactly.
time.
It's true. Yeah, but
Um,
by the way,
so
I need to add to this PlayStation 4 and Xbox One discussion. Just, I mean, you said like 5.5 million and 11 million. That would make
yeah,
like 5.5 million difference. That is almost already right now about the same difference that there was between Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
mm,
And it took only a full generation to catch up with Microsoft at
yeah,
those numbers. I mean,
yeah,
it's really, really, really hard to catch up on those numbers.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
So, I
is.
mean, it doesn't sound much, but that's a lot.
Yeah, but because it's also like the trend is that they're outselling them every week, all the
Yeah.
time. They have to turn that completely around, and then that's when they first start pull up. So it's certainly a tough situation. We only got a couple of minutes here. Any advice for Nintendo? What can they hope
Uh,
for?
I think they should continue doing what they do right now. I mean, they have their classic franchises, and they're really good game. And there seems to be more games. They're finally catching up and getting the games out, and that's really important. And I
Mm,
think Wii U has like stabilized on a new level. It's actually selling right now. It's not
mm,
selling really well, but it's selling.
yeah.
And perhaps also Nintendo should considering increasing the built-in memory on the console, because I mean they have a. I mean, you can't download game to your Wii U because
No,
there just isn't enough memory.
I don't know if I can talk about this, but there's a high profile game coming out a little bit later this month where you get a bonus game along with it, and I don't think you can install both of them on your console
Yeah,
because it
so
takes up so much space.
yeah,
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I don't think we can talk about it. But the space issue is really really huge on the Wii U for
mm,
sure. We are actually starting to run out of time now. I wish that we had more time to talk about
yeah,
these
we should have.
big sales things, but we are out of time. And the second hour, we are going to turn it to the studio where Ingvi is in the studio to play Call of Duty Ghost on Xbox 360 with the community, and take it from there. Nick is not along. Nick is usually the guy who's heading up these Friday nights, and Nick was in Stockholm with me today to play Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and talk to Glenn Schofield from Sledgehammer Games. So that is something that's coming up on GRTV a little bit later. We're still under embargo, so we cannot talk about what we did today. It's actually right after the live stream the embargo goes out, so we might have something up later in the evening, but I would assume that maybe Monday you're going to get to see something more on those things. Some new details on the co-op mode is what I can promise from that, even though I did not get to play that, but that's another story. So I'm going to turn it over to the guys. I don't know if they're ready to cut me off. Yes, they are ready to cut me off. So I'm going to leave it to Ingvi in the Gamereactor live studio. And thanks for watching me and Jonas. I'll be back next week with a similar little thing. We'll see who's going to be the guest then, but stay cool.
Hello and welcome back to the studio. My name is Ingvi and I'm covering for Nick and Dori, who are both off in a boring country doing boring stuff, and I'm not jealous at all. Today we're going to be playing Call of Duty Ghost on the Xbox 360 for our Gamereactor Friday night. And we have some digital codes to give away, a map pack, I guess, and some DLC skins as well. Sadly, they neglected to give me information about exactly what we're going to be giving away, but I guess Nick is going to figure that out on Monday when he goes over the scores. And yeah, he has some super secret algorithm to find out who gets codes, but I think it's the winner of each of our five clashes, and then 5 random people will get codes as well, and that is where Nick's expertise comes in. So if you want to join us, please just add GR Friday Nights to our to your Xbox Live friend, and I'll add you to a private game that I'm about to start here as soon as I figure this thing out. By the way, I haven't played an Xbox in 7 years, so I'm pretty rusty. Nor in fact a Call of Duty game since the original Modern Warfare. Right, so let's get to it. I guess it's A on this, yes. Yeah, I won't be playing at all, I'll be spectating. That is to say, if enough players join, otherwise it's just gonna be me staring at the ceiling for an hour, which won't be entertaining for anyone. Let's see the game launching right now. Really? It's going through all the... All right. Why do I have to go through this again? Okay, multiplayer, there we go. Continue to multiplayer. Or am I perhaps logged in on the wrong account? Please tell me I'm not logged in on the wrong account. Am I? Yes, I am. All right. And I don't even remember how to log out of it. Let's see. Please tell me in the chat how to log out of an account. Back. Switch to main menu, yes. Or do I have to quit the game? I think I have to quit the game, actually. Let me see. Ah, sign out. There we go. Yes. Sign in. 11 profiles. GR Friday Nights. There we go. I played for like half an hour on this thing before, and I didn't think it was possible to get minus points, but no. What? Soften? Yeah. How do I connect to the network? Is it wired or wireless? I thought it was supposed to be wired.
Okay, so we'll be back in a second.
We'll be back in a second as soon as we figure this thing out. We're back. Sorry about that tiny technological hiccup. I've invited everybody on GR Friday Nights friend list to join the match, but please, add us if you want to play along and win fantastic stuff. We have no players right now, so I guess we'll wait for somebody to join. Solfin is behind the scenes today, but this was not his fault. Yeah, if you don't want it to be just me, running around in circles, embarrassing myself, then we're gonna have to need some players. Yeah. No, nobody's joining. Should we give it 3 minutes, and if nobody joins, then I'll just go solo?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Give me a sec.
All right. So I guess I'm taking all the free codes home with me. Nice.
Yeah. So can you invite some more players?
I've emptied out the friends list. I mean, oh, no, I've already invited all of these. Invite to game, invite sent.
Can you see your friend requests maybe?
How do I do that? I thought they would just come up as,
Yeah.
yeah?
I'll figure it out in a second.
Let me see, match summary, no? Right. This is what we in the business call dead air. Well, it is the first Friday of the month, so maybe people are busy doing other things. Yeah. So it looks like nobody wants to play with us. So I'm just gonna find a match and embarrass myself because yeah, I'm not good at this. But I will be talking about my first impressions of Call of Duty Ghosts, as this is like, yeah, I played half an hour before the stream started just to figure out the controls and stuff. Which should I do? Is it what is the best mode? Team Deathmatch, Warhawk, 24/7, Reinforce? What do you think? What do you guys think? Because I have no idea what this is. All right, at first I'll go into some just basic deathmatch, team deathmatch kind of thing. I always go for an underbarrel foregrip in Insurgency, which is my favorite first-person shooter on PC. How do I start? Oh, like create a soldier. Matched players. Right, okay, so there are not enough players on this server. I don't have time to wait for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Find a match, standard, Warhawk. Please tell me there are more players here. Try the Warhawk, you say. It is nice and yellow, isn't it? It's like it screams in your face as soon as you get into the selection menu. It's almost as if the game wants you to play Warhawk. Right. So how do you turn this thing on? Oh, a guy. Did I just shoot someone? Hey! I just shot someone. What is going on here? Oh, that had to happen sooner or later. I love what Call of Duty does with the kill cam, because it's not only really interesting to see how you died, but it's also, it teaches you, you know. Somebody else can abuse some, well, not abuse, but use some element of the map to gain an advantage over you, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that back at some point. Ah, crap. Right. Let me see.
Enemy SATCOM spotted.
Yeah. Solfin says back and invite more people again. So I'm gonna do that. because of course what Solvin says is law. The guys behind the scenes are running the show, right? Right, yeah, Xbox Live, private match again. So is anybody here? Is anybody out there? Friends. In party, oh. There is somebody here.
Okay, nice.
Invite again, no, invite. I'm just spamming these people. Yeah, everyone else is offline. But if he's in my party, then he doesn't even show up here in the lobby list. What does that mean?
Should I go on game setup?
Yeah.
See if there's
No, everything should be good.
try a team deathmatch.
Yeah. Alternate modes. But I mean,
Standard mode.
it's, yeah. This shouldn't really be deterring people from playing, and there's nothing wrong with the network. Obviously, I was playing on a server. But yeah, the Indian Cobran says that the kill cam is fatal if you play as a sniper. That is true, but it is really annoying being killed by the same sniper over and over and over again, not figuring out where they are. So, as a rusher, I I appreciate the kill cam even more in the case of snipers. Right. Some more solo, I guess. As Solfin is on the phone, trying to figure out which steps to take. Luckily, we're lucky with matches. They're quick. Except that first one of them. Right.
Team deathmatch.
I'm pretty happy I got a couple of kills before, because, you know, whatever I do from now on, at least you guys have seen me kill people. Which, yeah, the first time around, I think I got like a 0 to 11 kill death ratio, which made the guys in the office laugh at me, which is, I guess, reasonable, a reasonable reaction to that outcome. But if you guys have any hints or tips for me while I'm playing, which like which scopes, which accessories or whatever you recommend, then please just let me know. Ah, is he?
Anybody's running?
Oh, hey. I thought it would be safe to look at the chat while I was respawning, but my death was obviously quick enough for it to last only a couple of seconds. Really? Well, now I have time.
We're in the lead.
Maybe I should learn how to crouch when I get into close to people. I just learned that today, by the way, that's the pushing the right thumbstick down. Oh, bullets. Haha! Haven't got a payback bonus. Ow. You miss snipers.
Friendly Trinity rocket inbound.
playing an online game, right?
I'm probably going to complain about snipers a lot while playing this as they kill me. But just so you know, I really like snipers. I mean, when they're covering my ass, I really like them. But it's difficult not to get frustrated when you get shot so far away and you couldn't even see the guy. And you know that there is absolutely no chance you would have gotten him anyway because you're spraying bullets all over the place. So yeah, but they are a vital instrument in our arsenal. Ooh. Ooh.
We've lost the lead. We're in the
They
lead.
joked at the office that I was almost as bad as Nick, but I don't think Nick can possibly be this lackluster. Come on, come on. Damn it, really, really?
We're in the lead.
Okay, there was a guy there. Grenades! Grenade! Yeah. This is starting to be embarrassing, isn't it? Where are the enemies? Ah, really? I saw that guy moving. But as I said, this is the first time I've played a Call of Duty game for a long time, so I have absolutely no idea how the maps are laid out. But I guess since this is team deathmatch, there's no specific spawn point. It rotates around the map like Call of Duty games do,
We've lost the lead.
depending on the position of enemies. Okay, that was just lucky. On my part, that is. I had, yeah. It helps to have human shield. Ooh, hey! Well, can only hope.
We're losing this fight.
Okay, that guy just died. Which means there might be some guys here or there.
We're in the lead.
Did I kill someone? No. That guy I killed. No, wrong button to reload. Right. Where is everybody?
Inbound.
Come out, wherever you are. No, I didn't mean that way. I mean just like run into the field and, wave your arms. Ah! There is some action going on outside. I think we're being bombarded. What? Hey! Earn 2 kills while crouched. Okay. I guess I should just go around crouched then. What do you get for those, by the way? I have no idea what those field things do. Hey! Victory! Well, that's a surprise. Let's see how I did. Where am I in the score? Please don't. Please not the bottom.
Okay, you should try see again if you can invite some people.
Yes, I'm not in the bottom. I'm second last. All right, let's see if we can find some people to join us and earn them some keys. Leave the lobby. See, just a private match here. So. Playing Dominion in Overlord. Right, okay. Invite to game, invite send, invite to game, invite send, invite to game, invite send. Yeah. Yeah, not that many people online, I guess. So I guess it's more solo time. Oh, hey, insta-freeze. One player. Come on, lucky 7. Nope. So, what do we do if there's only one player joining? Yeah, we'll just yeah, try and figure out. I think we should give him a key just for showing up. Intense freeze. Invite again. More inviting. Yeah. Now we're so gonna get, you know, banned from these guys' friends list for spamming them all the time. It's gonna be even worse next time. Yep, 3 players. Are we going for a free-for-all then?
Try to click on something, see if you can find some friend requests or...
Yeah, where do friend requests show up? Is it, I guess it's over here, or is it over? Nope, it's not over here. Is it maybe over here? Friends, 5 friends. Messages. Wants to join your party, I want to play. Wants to be your friend. Accept friend requests. Right. Instafreeze and Amir are already here. So now I'll just go in and add. That was by Coastal 091, that was joining, so, but yeah, he's offline now. Well, la-di-da. So I guess if it's only 3 players, I'll have to play as well, because we can't have 2 guys facing off against each other the whole time. There has to be some flanking involved, right? But
Okay, so if you go in the so we don't really make a private match.
Right. Okay.
Game
So,
setup.
so game setup. Instead of private match,
You have to go back.
right. Okay. I have to get out of this lobby, which means you guys fall out. And okay, it only allows me to create private matches. It doesn't. It's either private match or find a match. Shoo. How do I?
Right click on private match.
Private match. And I guess there's no way to create an open match. Player options, team options, game options. Join in progress allowed, yes, of course. Intermission disabled, yeah. Everything looks good on the side. All right, shall we just start the match with the three of us? I mean, drop-ins are welcome, so if you feel like joining, then just go ahead. Oh, team deathmatch with 3 players. I did not, I did not think this through, did I? No. Right. Crap. Sorry guys, we're gonna leave the game and I'm gonna start a new one with just normal deathmatch. I'm so sorry, that was completely my bad. This interface is complicated. Actually it isn't, I'm just making excuses. Game setup, mode, standard modes, free for all. There we go. And map, I'm just gonna select a random one here. This one. Like I said, I don't know these maps, so. Right, 0 bots. I'm not surprised this is the weirdest stream you've ever seen. This is the weirdest stream I've ever done. And this is the first one I've ever done, so yeah. Except for a couple.
Free for all.
Really? I just selected a knife. All right, fair enough. We'll see how this goes.
Time to work, Ghost Squad.
Ha! Did I maybe choose a way too big a map for the 3 of us? Needless to say, this is not going as planned. But I found some guy, and I'm gonna try and take him out. There we go. That was fun. But I am so getting a gun next time. That might be even better. Oh shit. Ah, yep. Change loadout. I like this one. With the silencer, yeah. There we go. Really? Ah, sniper. Of course. I'm just waiting to see some more has joined the match messages.
Enemy care package incoming.
Enemy care package. Oh, hiding in the shadows, really? I guess it is a good place. Well, now I know about it.
Enemy SATCOM spotted.
Come on, come on, come on, really? I don't have any grenades. Oh, there was a guy. I found the guy. Hello, Mr. Guy. Oh. Yeah, seeing as this tells you exactly where the bullets are coming from, then yeah. Thank you, Over, for calling this the best stream ever. I'm very proud of that comment. Now, yes. Ha, come back. Get 1 kill while prone. Well, challenge is gonna be getting 1 kill. Oh, he got the same thing, I think. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, and I'm very sorry about the relatively quick movements of my my character here. It's just because I don't like being killed. But I'm trying to make the viewing experience as smooth as possible without... Ah, crap. Yeah. And there I go, even cursing. Let's see. If this was Insurgency, I would still be ruling right now. Nope, no. Yay! Reload, reload, reload. And don't die. Oh, hey. Hey. What is happening? I have a 2-kill streak right now. That's something new. Oh! Ha! Never let me get a third. Of course not. Deep focus, Ingvi, deep focus. Do I look focused? Right, right, right. Which way, which way?
Enemy care package incoming.
Oh, oh. Where'd he go? Did he go upstairs? Yeah, he went upstairs. Hey! Found you! Hope that was the same guy. Oop. I think I heard some weird sounds emanating from this location. But then again, in the studio, it's not very easy to hear where the sounds are coming from. Oh, running into a wall. When we started playing with 3 guys, I thought it was actually going to be worse. Right. Did I see someone here? I'm just running out in the open. I had luck going up these stairs before. Now let's see. Nope, that bad luck.
Enemy care package
Yeah, I'm
incoming.
#1 at esports. Maybe I could be #1 in the Faroese. What do you think about that, Sofin?
Yeah.
Yeah? No, I think I'm even not good enough for that. But, you know, those Faroese have nothing better to do.
Have an international match.
Yeah. Iceland versus Faroe Islands. See which one has more time on their hands. Okay, now it's starting to get like, you know, just looking all the time. But, okay. I think there was a guy jumping over there. Where did he go? Up here? I'm gonna say up here. But where did he go then? Crap. I feel like I'm running around in circles, but seeing as I'm completely lost, I have no idea what a circle would constitute on this map. So. Ah!
Time's almost up.
For the 30 seconds, I decided to look at the chat for. All right. Focus. It's typical. You don't see anybody for 3 minutes, 3 solid minutes, and then as soon as you decide to look some other place, they're in your face.
Time's almost up.
Oh, time's almost up. Please. I'm pretty confident I'm at the bottom of the list right now, so I would like to meet someone. Oh, there's someone. Yay! Now now I'd like to meet some more people. Or the same guy again. Damn it. I knew it. 3rd place. Wow. Whoa. Do not leave this on the table. No. Right, okay.
Kills.
This one, what? I got 8 kills?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'll be a donkey's uncle. Okay. So, does, huh?
So yeah, just try to invite the friends who have a game.
Yeah, I'll try and invite some more people to join the game. And so on the chat, could you suggest some maps that are maybe a little bit smaller that would host this small gathering of elite players better than what we just went through? Thanks for the reassuring comments, by the way. They're helpful. I appreciate them. Now, maps. Maps, you say.
So try go back.
Try go back. Yeah.
And if you should have a start click on that one. Game setup.
Game setup.
So it's free for all mode.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's everybody killing everybody, which is exactly what we want. Join in progress allowed. Yes, 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 yes. Just get more people in here. Do we have any more friend requests? No, not friends. Oh, messages. One new. I want to play. Yeah. I'd already seen that one. And we are playing together. So, I think this one is actually pretty small. I think I've tried that one before. So, let's do this. Yeah, and for clarification, I am Icelandic as well. Me and Dore are kind of working on this unofficial takeover of Gamereactor, but there's only 2 of us and it's going slowly, but yeah. Come on, I want to kill some dudes.
Time to work, Ghost Squad.
Oh, hello, hello. Hey, first blood. That was mine. Now where did he come from? And where should I go? Well, logically, if he came from that direction, then I should be running in the opposite direction. Because I'm guessing we started in kind of a triangle format thing. It's difficult to see anything through this foliage. Where is everyone? Oh, I think I saw some guy. Oh. Ah, come on, come on. Oh, crap. Right. Very well. I got first blood, though. Always look on the bright side, right? Now, if I could only remember where I was when I died. I remember that sewage drain. And I think that's my corpse. Yep, that's my corpse. Oh! You know what I think it is? I think they're cheating by looking at the stream while they're playing. Yeah? I think that's it. Couldn't possibly be because of my lack of skill. I have a feeling I'm going in the opposite direction to where I should be headed. At least this is unfamiliar ground. Maybe I should sprint some more as well. Yep. So, interesting fact while I run around in circles, did you know that ducks have corkscrew shaped penises? They do. Yeah. The more you know.
Enemy care package incoming.
Okay, I really should have accidentally run into someone by now. Oh, what is this? Something I can destroy? Yay! But did I get points? No. Oh! Yeah, I know the stream was on a 30-second delay. I was just trying to make excuses. Oh, this looks interesting. No, it doesn't. So let's try and go upstairs, see if we can catch us a sniper. Nope, no snipers. Oh! Haha! Moving guy! I was shooting everywhere except him. You see that? See that kill cam? Never got close. And that is why I can no longer blame the stream. Oh! Another thing! Ah, damn it. Really? There we go. Ah! Eh. Where was he? Where was he? Did I get him? No, I didn't get him. I'm panicking. Oh no! Wow. Time for some revenge. Or more likely, time to provide some bullet magnet. No, cannon fodder. Mixed my terms there, huh? He has the same gun as me, so there's not even an excuse in that.
So after this game, after the 3 minutes, you just wrap up and that's it.
Right. We only have a few minutes to go, so it would be very, very nice of you guys who are playing with me if you could just, I don't know, stand in the middle of the field, flailing your arms around. That would be much appreciated. But I guess in an imperfect world, we can't have everything. Up here again. Let's see if he has some more quick. Oh, Come on, come on. Die. No. Right. If I had a mouse and keyboard right now, I'd probably not do any better. Oh, there's a guy, there's a guy. Oh. Okay. Did I put it on a time delay or did I put it on a kill count? Let's see, let's see, let's see. Where are the guys? Can you please tell me where the guys are? Where are you guys?
Time's almost up.
Time is almost up. I know this stream hasn't been going quite as well as planned, but I'm still kind of sad that it's over. I really want to kill some people, and it would have been awesome if there were at least 5 guys here. And, okay, and now I'm killing myself.
Time's almost up.
All right, all right, all right. I hope I have managed to provide adequate target practice for you guys. Is that a live guy? Huh. I think it's a live guy. Nope, it's not a live guy. That's a live guy. I thought he was just lying in a kind of a position where, you know, he looked like he was alive. Anyway, right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take some time over the weekend to try and get better at this. If I'm gonna be hosting any more of these things, then I definitely need a lot of practice. But thank you guys for joining us for this public display of what not to do when live streaming and playing Call of Duty Ghost. Yeah, next week I think Nick is going to play some Destiny for Friday nights. But yeah, like I said, I'm guessing both of those guys I played with are gonna get some keys, and Nick will figure out what to do with the rest of the keys. I think the people who have been encouraging me so well on the chat will also get some keys. I'm hoping, at least. You know, I'll have to talk to Nick about that. Yeah, so I think that's it for us today. Thank you for joining us again. I have been Ingvi. I am still Ingvi, actually, but now I'm done hosting. Goodbye.